saw a 5E model, so you saw a specific lesson. We talked about planting. One of the big things we get with teachers why I don't take my students outside is because they'll go crazy. That's a legitimate concern. So I want you to imagine a room in your school that is basically student run, very organized, stays organized, and if it didn't, nobody could ever find anything. She said a classroom. The library. How is it that first graders can come in, check out a book, check in a book? How is that possible? There's a system in place. Very good. So when you go into your outdoor classroom, you have to have a system in place. You have to, you take them out once a year, they're going to be like, look at that, hear that, oh, look at that bug, oh my goodness. So you have to have a few systems in place, just like you do in your classroom. So this is where we line up. This is how we come in. When I blow this whistle, this is when you come back, and so on and so forth. But there are some tips and tricks that make your life a lot easier. So we're going to give you this tub, and inside this tub is some things that make your life a lot easier. Some of it we've already seen today. We're going to give you a classroom set of these measuring tapes. I would put this in a storage shed or in a central location that everybody can get. Customary on one side, metric on another. Let them get them in their hands. Let them use them. Let them go out and measure a bed and figure out. Have them measure something that's longer than 2 of these and watch what they do, but only give them one and see if they can figure out how to do that. So we're giving you a classroom set of measuring tape. Other measurement things that you have out there, you will have some thermometers. You might have a barometer. I always like to install a circular thermometer and a vertical thermometer because they need to be able to read both because that's what they see on the test. But we're going to give you a classroom set of thermometers just like this. Get these in the students' hands. Let them use them. Let them go out. Girls go into the sun, boys go into the shade. Tell me what the temperature is. What is the difference between the temperature? Will it get greater? Will that difference be greater or less as the day goes on? So those are some great just warm-up questions. We want to know if they can use these. So have everybody popcorn out their answers, and then you're going out and maybe doing a writing lesson, but you teach math as well. And so you just write down all the answers that they call out. And if you hear everybody around the same, and then there's that one kid that's way off, maybe he's got his finger over that. Or maybe he doesn't know how to read the scale correctly. He's going by 5s instead of by 10s. Okay? So now, if you're doing that as a quick warm-up, you've got a whole bunch of numbers on the board listed in a row. 88, 86, 87, 98, 58. What do you do with those numbers? Least to greatest, average, mean. So graph things that mean something instead of how many of you have dogs, how many of you have cats. So now you can actually use real data. Start using real data to do those graphs. All right, some other things that we're giving you is a classroom set of hand lenses. Get these in the students' hands. We want them to use them. Those tools on those science standards, the process skills are very important. They need to know that the correct way to use a lens is not like this. It's also not like this because light has to travel through it, right? That's what creates things to refract. And then they learn the difference between refraction and reflection, magnifications. Little kids love these. They do get scratched over time, and that's okay, but they won't break. These are great to use outside because they don't get wet and get messed up. So that's a good thing. All right, what else is inside this bucket? We have, my favorite, Sidewalk Chalk. Especially for this school because y'all have tons of space. Here's my Sidewalk Chalk that I use when I go model lessons. I use it a lot. During the explore part of that, the explain part of that lesson, we want the students to do the explaining. So this is where you can, draw your bubble maps, draw your thinking maps, do your T-chart, and let them go around and do the explaining, and they actually fill it in. or maybe you're just doing stations, station 1, station 2. Sidewalk chalk, very important. We're giving you a classroom set of dry erase boards and clipboards. So then these can be for answering, calling out. There's a classroom set of those in there. I'll get to that in just a minute. Tearable tape. We're going to give you about 4 rolls to get you started of tearable tape. Tearable tape is T-E-A-R, tear. Okay? It's great for collecting samples, and then they can take it and put it in their journal. I like to, if I know I'm using this, give it to them and stick it on their shoulder, because then their hands are free. And so then if they're out walking around, finding what they're going to collect, their hands stay free, they take it, then they put it in their journal. Imagine pulling a weed, putting it in your journal, and then labeling all the parts. That's pretty cool. You see the fibrous roots. Well, this one has a long tap root. It's great for making little bookmarks or whatever. You can do that. Adopt a tree outside. Take the leaf in August. Take the leaf in November. There's not one in January. Take the leaf in the spring, and then line them up in your journal so they can see changes over time. All right, so we've got that. Tearable tape. Bag of bags. We're giving you a box of gallon size, quart size. I use this a lot. This is a gallon size bag with a whole bunch of sandwich bags, Ziploc bags in it. This is the fastest and easiest way to do like physical properties. Have those students, everybody does that same lesson every year in your room where you get a brown sack and you put a whole bunch of things from in your room, all these math manipulatives and stuff, plastic, man-made, you stick it in the middle and you have them sort it based off their physical properties, right? And then you never put the stuff back. You lose all your manipulatives, that bag gets shoved in a corner on open house night, it's still sitting there. So, let's go outside and do that same lesson. Give them a bag, go pick out 10 things. Doesn't matter what 10 things, 5 things, put it in the bag. Have them come back, have them sort it based off the physical properties. Have them create a rule. And then go around and everybody describe what their rule is, or the other students try to figure out what that rule is. And when they're done, they take all their stuff and they go dump it right back outside, right in the space. And then you don't have to lose your manipulatives. How do you teach texture if everything is factory made? We want to teach real texture. So use some objects from the outdoor setting. Manipulatives for creating arrays. They can go pick up bark or rocks or pebbles or anything like that, and they can do arrays with them and use them as math manipulatives and then go dump them. So bag of bags, very important. If you want to write that down. Dry erase markers, classroom set of that. Paper towels just in case you need it. And let's see. I think that's it for in here. There are some other things that if you were a teacher like me, you may want to write this down. To make your life easier, we've been to 100 teacher conferences and got a bunch of these, right? Keep this by your door, so every time you go outside, you're not scrambling and wasting time. So this is my outdoor classroom bag. This is cool, but I was that teacher that liked my own stuff. You probably are too. So inside here, classroom set of scissors. They leave them all over the place. At the end of the year, you have tons of them. Throw you about 3 or 4 in there. Those are great to have. That's how I prune my herbs at home, is with little kid scissors like that. Inside that bag, I put rulers. How many of you have 500 million rulers, right? So you can just throw you some rulers in there. You've always got about, to work in pairs. So you've got that. Maybe you don't have those fancy little clipboards, but you do have a bulldog clip and a dry erase board. Now you got a clipboard. You got your own little classroom set in there. Most important, you're going to have a Ziploc bag of sharpened pencils, because somebody's going to forget their pencil. They're going to break their lead. On that note, you want to have a pencil sharpener. So have you a pencil sharpener in there as well. Index cards. Teachers love labels, right? So have you a class set of index cards in there that you can write on in case you need them. So you got some blank index cards. Post-it notes. Put you some post-it notes in there. I have string or yarn. I don't know why. Every now and then I use it. Not sure why I use it. And me personally, I probably have a few of these that I have acquired over the years. So I could have a classroom set of those and those little thermometers. I put my bag of bags in there. I have a towel because there's dew and students don't want to sit on benches. So I always have a towel that I can wipe something off or if I need it. Which reminds me, you're going to have a dry erase board outside. Please erase. You know what it looks like when you leave it in your classroom? Imagine in the heat of the sun. So please erase when you leave. You also might want to have your own dry erase markers in case there's not in here because we did put a teacher set in there as well. But you probably want to have your own in case you forgot it. I have some communicators, these little cheapy things that we've all used. Those are great to take outside with you as well. So just have that bag ready to go. Let's see, I throw an eraser in there because you never know when somebody took the eraser that was in the tub. And your own call. Call to attention is very important. I use a duck call. We have instructional coaches that use harmonicas. Wendy uses a kayak whistle. Try to differentiate from what you use at recess and PE because it's a class, so you want something different, some calming call to attention that they know. Throw that in there. Oh, forks. Plastic forks. You definitely want some plastic forks because you can use them as labels.
Where'd you get those, Sammy?
From a school when I was there modeling lessons and they were having a luncheon. And I needed them. So, yeah. So you write the problem on there, or you write the word on there, and then you can stick it in the ground. Or you just write the station number. Or you have the students go label. Or whatever your lesson is. Plastic forks are genius. So you want to have those there. He made comment on those metal stakes that I had up here last time. Those are called pigtail stakes. They're only like 39 cents at Lowe's, but those were free, so I saved money. Did I forget anything, Wendy? Oh, yeah, I did.
What weather?
Hand sanitizer, a little nurse's bag of Band-Aids and things like that. So, because it's all about saving time. We need to save time. Otherwise, you won't use it because it's too far to go or we've got to keep coming in to get stuff.
Cloud viewers?
Say that again?
Cloud viewers.
Oh, cloud viewers. Yeah, thank you. Cloud viewers. This is on our website. Wendy's about to show you our website. So cloud viewers, I have those in there. Boom. They can look at the cloud. Has a picture of the cloud. Has a root word. Has it broken down so they can do that cloud description. Print them out, laminate them, make your own set. Keep them with you so you don't have to share if you don't want to. I think that's just about it. I do have the weed cards that I keep with me. She'll tell a little bit more about that. I don't want to steal all her stuff. So I think that's it. That's everything that I have to make